Monday is the most widely recognized day off. Besides in Australia, I surmise we are a dependable society until Tuesday shows up Australia's most normal day off. Fridays are the most improbable day off. Individuals are a lot more joyful and bound to satisfy their obligations on a Friday. If you stir 40 hours every week up until 65 years, you will work a little more than 90,000 hours in the course of your life. Leonardo da Vinci is credited with compassing the primary resume. The modern revolution permitted individuals to work longer and all year. Work was not generally directed via seasons and normal lighting. Around the world, the functioning week ranges between 40 to 44 hours of the week. However, a few nations have an extraordinary mentality toward balance between fun and serious activities. In France, the typical week of work is 35 hours. The Netherlands has the briefest week of work on the planet at 29 hours of the week. Sadly, in North Korea, inhabitants living and working in labor camps work more than 112 hours of the week. In Japan, the typical working week is 60 to 70 hours. Numerous Japanese fall down and die at fill-in therefore. This is known as karashi. Consistently, north of 10,000 Japanese experience the ill effects of karashi. The word supervisor is Dutch, signifying an expert. Once a thing is documented, there is a 98% opportunity it won't ever come around from now onward. The normal office specialist goes through 50 minutes daily searching for lost records and different things. That is very nearly an hour daily. McDonald's has 1.7 million workers around the world. One of the perkiest positions going, a Netflix viewer. Indeed, this is a task, breaking down the thing watchers are pursuing and watching content before it becomes public. One of the most horrendously terrible positions on the planet, sewer swimmer. In Mexico City, the sewer framework is kept up with by a gathering of laborers who need to plunge through human waste, creature carcasses and refuse to embrace fixes. The normal work area is home to multiple times a greater number of microscopic organisms than the typical latrine seat. The three most normal positions in America are 1. Salesman, 2. Clerk, and 3. Inexpensive food specialist. Over a lifetime, the typical individual spends around 90,000 hours at work. Before the age of 40, Americans hold between 7 to 8 distinct positions. The normal office seat with wheels goes around 8 miles each year. Every year, the typical American goes through more than 100 hours driving. People who don't treat workplace issues in a serious way are more fruitful and effective at work. When office temperatures are low, 68 degrees, workers make 44% a bigger number of blunders and are less useful than when temperatures are hotter, 77 degrees. Scientists note that representatives ought to continue to work until the age of 80, however that they ought to just work 25 hours every week for ideal efficiency. Working doesn't ensure getting away from neediness. As a matter of fact, as numerous as 40% of worldwide specialists don't make to the point of living over the neediness line. Around the world, the week's worth of work normally falls between 40 to 44 hours of the week, however not all over the place. France's week's worth of work normal is around 35 hours of the week, while in North Korea, those in labor camps work more than 112 hours of the week. In the mid-2000s, the Netherlands turned into the main industrialized country to drop its week of work hours to under 30 hours. Nearly 60% of individuals report browsing their work email over Christmas and Thanksgiving. The United States lingers a long ways behind additional industrialized countries in family-arranged strategies, for example, maternity leave, paid days off, and breastfeeding support. Most nations observe Labor Day or Workers' Day on May 1st, with the exception of the United States and Canada. 24% of suburbanites say that when they are trapped in rush hour gridlock, they think profound contemplations. The normal specialist in America gets 201 email, paper, and telephone messages each day. Once a thing is recorded, there is a 98% opportunity it won't ever be seen from this point onward. The normal specialist spends somewhere around 50 minutes daily searching for lost things and records. Tuesday is the most useful day of the week. Listening to the right music while working assists individuals with finishing things quicker. Adults who routinely get 7.5 to 9 hours of rest each night depend on 20% more useful. Drinking adequate measure of water fluid can expand your day-to-day efficiency by 14%. Workers spend over 25% of their day in perusing and noting messages. In the event that they browse messages at set places in the day, it will build their efficiency. 37% of connected workers are searching for occupations or are available to new open doors, as are 56% of not locked-in representatives and 73% of effectively withdrawn workers. 70% of workers say that inspiration and assurance would improve hugely with administrators saying thank you more. Worried that office humor will prompt interruption? Concentrates on show expanded humor in the work environment, doesn't bring down individuals' efficiency or their capacity to finish jobs that require focus. Highly connected with business groups bring about 21% more noteworthy benefit. 61% of workers are more useful when the clothing standard is loose. 68% of Australian organizations have embraced action-based working inside their working environments. A look at green makes individuals more innovative. It's assessed that 20 to 30-year-olds will make up 35% of the labor force by 2020. 1% of U.S. bosses permit representatives to lay down for rests during working hours. Tuesday has the least percent of truancy for American specialists, 11%.